Namaste, I'm Dr. Nikhita, and here we are. Welcome to my interview series where we are collaborating with distinguished personalities in the field of yoga and Ayurveda. Today we have an eminent personality from the field of yoga and Ayurveda. She is a public speaker, she's a corporate thinker, she's a blogger, and soon to be author. She's recently received the International Panacea Excellence Award for her consistent contribution in the field of yoga and Ayurveda. So let's give her a warm welcome to Dr. Nutan Pakre. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, Nikita. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming. So, ma'am, I would like to, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
First of all, thank you, Nikita, for inviting me for this series. Myself, you have already introduced a lot of things, but a few things which I would like to throw light on. I have passed my BMS from the Mittal College in the year 2000, 1 and 2. Later on, I have completed my yoga after 8 years, but in between I did as a Ayurveda doctor. I have explored my practice by working with various hospitals as a RMO. Then I have done a locum. It means that I worked with the doctors who are in the clinics and gain my clinical knowledge a lot with this. Later on, I have started my own practice, and I bought a clinic uh, which was on rent. And within a year, I have bought my own clinic, and this is the way I have explored my 8 years. But somewhere I felt like something is missing in my life, and life has taken U-turn. I met with an accident, and I got spine fracture. That time it was very difficult for me to accept the thing, and it was completely locked down. We feel today that there are, we are at home, and we don't get, permission to go out. But I have experienced in my personal life this lockdown, that I was unable to move from the bed also. So after spine surgery, I faced paraplegia, and I was very active earlier. And due to this accident, even I am not able to stand on my feet. That led me towards even PTSD, means post-traumatic stress disorder. So lot of things, I faced, and I came to again zero after uh, this accident. But yes, as means that accident, now I feel like it happened because I have been destiny towards the yoga, and I have encountered my first it's, my with my involvement in the yoga. My physiotherapist was the one who has been, brought this meditation, heartfulness meditation, to me with his team. He was doing the work on my muscles, but the meditation is working on my mind. So that's how I felt. Means earlier, means that time it was like, how it can help to heal my body. I was suffering like, like the pain on my back. It was a shooting pain. It was like, you have seen the Bhishmacharya, how he has lying on the bed of that. What it says? Can you help me with the word? Yes,
Yes,
arrows. In Mahabharata, nowadays we are watching that Mahabharata. So,
absolutely.
so the pain, I myself, I have felt the pain on my back because the suture was there. And in that condition, to again start up, and my this neurologist and my orthopedic surgeon, both have been, not assuring me that I will be able to stand on my feet and start walking, or even I can sit again. So in that state, it was very difficult to start again and heal self. So I think, that was the way to come again to this yoga world. Earlier, I was Ayurveda doctor. Now, after 8 years of that, accident, 8 to 9 years of accident, today I can say that I am Ayurveda and yoga doctor. And I have passed my certificate course, diploma course, master degree, and I became as an assistant professor in the yoga. And everything I have gained, name, fame, money, whatever things is after my that accident, and not before that. So yes, definitely some difficult situation comes in our life to teach the lesson. If we don't learn that lesson from that situation, then there is, again and again same things will be repeated with us.
True.
So yes, that is the story of my life in short. I told you.
Yes, yes,
uh,
yes. Thank you,
yes.
ma'am. And yes, I do know, ma'am, you are also uploading and sharing a lot of yoga, and it's really fantastic. I do follow your yoga videos that you keep posting, and it's really very informative, ma'am. So, I think you would be the best person. So, I want to ask you this, that yoga as a practice, or let's say it yoga, because that is how it is actually, yoga as a practice, how would it change the world?
See, like I said, it changed you, and you are the part of the world. So
Yes.
it change an individual, and all the individual, if they practice, it will change the whole world. So I think we all need to practice yoga, because yoga is the life, and it has been already promoted by our India and the whole world by celebrating Yoga Day and various activities. I think it should be the part of our life. Being Ayurveda doctor, we have been taught in yoga as a one of the subject in Swastha Vritta. Okay, but I think it is more than that. And Ayurveda and yoga are sister science, so I do like to promote this science together. And yes, working through the social media and my few lectures, guiding people, I feel very happy by doing this.
Yes, that's true. That's true, ma'am. But the way yoga has been perceived, like a lot of people feel that they do yoga for flexibility, or for weight loss, and then there is also this meditation aspect which is there differently, which people do these days, especially now, in this current phase. So and then there are different types of meditations as well, like different school of thoughts have different meditation types, like there is a Buddhist type of meditation, or there could be different forms of meditation. So how do you think, like, yoga or meditation, like, which is the best one? How do you think it works?
See, first of all, I would like to clear the confusion that yoga and meditation are different. They are not different. Meditation is the part of yoga. There are 8 steps which has been led by Sage Patanjali, who is the kind of devotee, we can say, or the who has been studied this yoga and has been offered to all of us in the format in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, by writing Patanjali Yoga Sutra. In that, he has mentioned 8 steps of yoga. And the first is yama, that is the social conduct. Niyama is the personal conduct. And then comes asana. Okay, that is a third step. That is a posture, what we do with the body.
Right.
And then comes pranayama, what we do with the breathing practice, breathing techniques. Then comes pratyahara, means staying or restraining our sense organ from the going outward, and it has to be channelized inward. So that is a pratyahara practice. And then after gaining mastery over it, then we go towards the internal journey of our life. That is the concentration, that is the dharana. Then comes dhyana, and then comes samadhi. And after dharana, dhyana comes. That is what the meditation is. So meditation is the part of yoga, and it is not the different things. So one can practice meditation in whatever way they feel suitable. First, they need to understand meditation. We don't need to do anything. It has to be happen automatically.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yes, because but then what are the different other these forms of meditation? Are they different, or they are actually a part of yoga only? Like there is Buddhist meditation. These
Yeah,
ones.
they are, see, they are part of yoga only the techniques are different. Some do with a guided meditation, just observing. We can, first, like I said, before meditation there is a practice of concentration. What the practices are concentrating. Now this concentrating, where exactly we need to concentrate. If the object is outward, then we can just keep our eyes open and focus on that, and then continuously, focusing on the same object. One stage will come when we'll become the one with that object,
Hmm.
and that oneness state of that you and the object is going to lead you towards the meditation. So, and the second technique is focusing on the inward, like, closing eyes, focusing on our center part of the eyebrow, or closing eyes, just visualizing om, or whatever the things you feel comfortable with. So it is just being one with that one object. It may be internal or it may be external,
Right. Right. Yes. So
or
it's
it can be guided from the by the teacher, or it can be guided from within, like this.
yes, correct. Right. So we are basically preparing ourselves for that last goal, which is dhyan.
Yeah.
So
Last rule is samadhi.
samadhi.
Bliss.
Okay.
हाँ.
Dhyan, dharana, samadhi. Yes. Yes.
हाँ, धारणा ध्यान समाधि.
Dhyan, samadhi. Okay.
हाँ.
Yes. Okay, right. So, yes, so that is something very interesting to know, because a lot of times what happens is that we look at these two areas as separate entities, but it's very like interesting and amazing that yoga is actually a stepwise transition into these different phases, which actually leads you to an end goal, and not just a way of flexibility, or just some form of an exercise. It's actually
Yes.
much more than that. Like if I could call it, it's again another aspect, detrimental aspect of way of living. So that's
Yes.
yoga actually. It's amazing, yes. And also, ma'am, like I do know you write quite a bit. Like you have written a lot of different blogs and also articles. So I've also got to know that you're also working on a book. So would you like to tell us a little about that?
Yes, actually, currently I'm working with Kevaladham Yoga Institute since last 8 years almost. I have joined Kevaladham 8 years back, in the 8 or 9 years, I guess, 2000, after 2011. I explored myself in the field of yoga in various ways. But where I found, my interest, my deep interest, is mainly into the women's health and well-being. So wherever, people means I go to teach students, mainly they invite, in Sumaya College, Mumbai University, mainly they invite me to teach them reproductive system in the yogic context. So I feel by teaching all that things, I felt like I need to write one book, and to make a ready available material where they can refer all together, where yoga and Ayurveda both are included. So then 2 years back, I have started writing this book. So it's almost, this lockdown period has given me enough time to complete it. So I think I will be completing soon. What is in this book is that, I have included major gynecological disorder like PCOD, fibroid, or in during menstruation, women can do yoga practice or not, or how, if they do, what kind of practices they can do, and along with yoga practices, how what are the Ayurveda remedies they can use. So together it will benefit to their health, and they can prevent getting all those disorder, or if they have already been affected, they can heal faster. So I have taken care of these things. And then another point, very important point, which I have added, it is the antenatal and postnatal care of women. with the Ayurveda and yoga. So because later on women have been already caring about their figure, weight, and stay away from lifestyle disorder, thyroid. So how they can get benefited, what are that practices which they can start doing even in the pregnancy period and immediately postnatal, when they should start practice. I got many questions like, "Okay, after delivery when I can start my practice if they are yoga practitioner, or if they are not, then what are the practices they can begin with to avoid the complications of that delivery or whatever pain they have been through." So I think all that has been taken care in my book, and I will be definitely coming soon in the 2020. It will be, I am thinking to publish it. I don't know if
Okay.
it is possible. Positively I'm thinking we will come out of this lockdown, and I will come out of with my delivery this book delivery
Yes,
for
that's
the
really
students.
wonderful. You are making the most of this time. That's really wonderful. There's something, ma'am, which I actually feel, which I had this query. I think I know the answer, but please correct me if I'm wrong. So I see a lot of individuals practice or do exercise during their menstrual cycle while they are, on their period. So I had this concern, like as far as I know, and I personally feel that this is a time when, according to Ayurveda, we look at it like Vataचा काल असल्यामुळे, like because of the predominance of Vat dosha, and there's a certain loss, the procedure which is happening, you are not supposed to exercise because that will aggravate the Vata further. So I would suggest, like I always suggest, not doing exercise or yoga, even for that matter. Maybe if they want to do very relaxing, postures, which is just about relaxing, that ones is fine. But they shouldn't really do any such excessive or strenuous exercises. So that is what I feel. But I would like to know from you, since you are the best person really to guide us, like is it a good time really to do yoga, or we should just rest during those 5 days?
Yes, this is very good question actually, because many women are looking for the answer of this question. Yes, in during menstruation, definitely Ayurveda has recommended Rajaswala Paricharya. Rajaswala Paricharya means the holistic care for the menstruating women. And in that, it has been said, as you rightly said, that we should avoid strenuous activities. And after that, I would like to clear, yoga is not the strenuous activities. Okay. And I have already told you 8 steps of yoga. If somebody is thinking yoga in the point of view like asana, only asana or the exercise, then they are, they can say they can avoid doing yoga. But yoga having all those 8 aspects, keeping that in mind, we can say like do's and don'ts we are already following in the form of Rajaswala Paricharya, not doing any activity or not going you know uh, above our capacity. So everything should be done under our own capacity, and for that we need to first understand what is my capacity, and avoid complete all. Mainly, I would like to suggest here, avoid all that topsy turvy asana,
Hmm. Correct.
right?
Yes.
Because the apan vayu
Hmm.
is the flow of apan vayu is downward, and the menstruating flow is also downward,
Right.
right? So that flow, we should not do anything against the nature.
Right.
That is the main thing every woman should understand. Nature has given us a power of creating, of being a co-created with this universe, creating life. So we need to maintain our this daily or monthly flow in a very natural way. So we need to follow all the do's and don'ts as per our individual capacity, and not doing any advanced asana, any topsy-turvy asana, or anything without guidance. Take the guidance of your doctor, ask your own prakriti, what is suitable to you, what is not suitable to you, and just follow that.
Right. Right. Absolutely. That was really very helpful. because this is something which, we face this doubt very often. So thank you so much for, throwing light on this one. And like currently, like you very rightly put forth, sometime now you are making the most of this time, really, and a lot of us individuals are trying to make the most of the it's like an extended, I don't know how to say it, it looks like a vacation, but sometimes it feels like, there are days when you feel so anxious, you feel like, I mean, the time is very uncertain, like we don't know what is to be expected next, and there's a lot of scare that, what is going to happen. There's a lot of overthinking which is happening with a lot of us individuals, and that's perfectly normal because this is a kind of a situation which we were never mentally prepared for. So I mean, like, how are you dealing with the anxiety? Like, what would you suggest as well, like, to curb this sort of anxiety which is there now?
First of all, I don't feel like I'm anxious or I'm being stressed up because I practice my yoga. That is number one. Morning, I do practice my yoga. In fact, I get a lot of time to do this. Otherwise, earlier I used to go to work, so I have been missing my personal practice. So I get the time for my personal practice. Second, I'm writing book and I'm completing it. Third, whenever I feel stuck even doing all those things, I play with my nieces and I used to post many pictures with them. So children are very good, stress releaser. Okay. So
Right.
then I do some, started cooking, going into the kitchen. Earlier, I never, go
Yes.
into the kitchen. So I have started. Yes, I know cooking, but because my mom is there, so and she is helping me to, providing plate in front of me. So I try to, get the benefit out of it. But
Because
yes,
lot
this
of us are, like, really blessed with, like, we have mothers who give us everything, so we never
yes,
bother.
yes,
But this is one time when even our mothers are burdened with so much work. I mean, work as in, like, there are so many other aspects which are also to be taken care of, that you really feel that even you want to do something. So even I have
yes.
started again, doing a little in the kitchen.
Yes, even so I have also tried some new dishes to cook and to give to my nieces and all of them, and seeing the happiness on their face, it gives me good feeling. And then watching movies, and I'm watching movie with the message, which is the not just for entertaining. So when we understand what kind of movie and what exactly that director wants to tell us, so in short, I get involved with that activity, whatever I do.
Right.
So one activity at one time. So that is also the one way of meditating with the activities,
It's
becoming one with that.
we can say that way, being present completely where you are, whatever you're doing, right?
Hmm. Yes, being present is very, very important, and that's how we can stay away from the future, uncertainty, past fears, or what will happen. And yes, in my life, I have realized one message that I always like to give my audience and the viewers, that self acceptance is the important key to go for the self realization, because we are not ready to accept the things which happen suddenly with us. Like this lockdown also happened, we are not mentally prepared, as you said. Nobody has thought of Mumbai mainly lifeline will stop and everything will stop. It's sudden changes and sudden tremendous changes we all have been facing. So I think we are not prepared, but at the same time we need to now accept the things as it is, and that will definitely give us some realization, give us some new doors to start our life with it, so take home message I wanted to give. This self acceptance is the key to self realization, and self realization is key for the happiness, peace of mind.
Wow, that's like really a deep but a very strong message.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Nutan, ma'am. Thank you for coming and sharing all your tips and also about yourself. It was really very informative, and I would like to wish you all the very best for the book, as well as the fabulous work which you are doing in the field of yoga and Ayurveda. It was really fantastic. Thank you for your time. So, thank you so much for watching. If you found this video useful and if you liked it, then please leave us a comment and give us a thumbs up. And also let us know what is the other aspect which you would like to know or learn more about, and we would like to know that as well. Make Ayurveda a way of life, and take care. See you all very soon. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you.